Hi guys, welcome to History 102 Online. My name is Grace Moser and I'm going to be your history professor for this semester. I'm going to give a short introduction video so that you can get to know me. I chose to show my face so that you would know what I look like, and you'll have a chance to introduce yourself to me a little bit later. But I thought I would do it this way so that you could see me and what I look like. Alright, so I'm going to try to keep this short because I do not want to spend 10 minutes talking about myself and making you watch a video about me. Alright, so I just chose a handful of pictures, some of my favorites. The first one of me is me with my baby son, Ollie. I'm actually a mom to 2-year-old twin boys, and they definitely keep me busy. The next picture up at the top is me right before I gave a presentation at a national history conference. It was a big deal for me. I was very excited to be there, and I was actually 28 weeks pregnant with my twin boys when I did it, so a little bit uncomfortable, but fun. The next picture of me is actually dressed up as Babe Lincoln. I'm kind of a history dork, and I love to dress up like historical characters, so this one was a fun one. I dressed up and lectured that way. And then that middle picture on the bottom is me. What I always tell my students is my grading face. Grading is about my least favorite thing, so I always like to make a joke about it. Here's me and my family. My husband is named Jeff. We've been married since 2009. The top picture shows my twin boys, Abe and Ollie, when they were about a year old, and that's them when they were babies. But again, they're 2 now, so they're little kids now instead of babies. I also have a pretty big fur family. Got 3 cats and a dog. My doggie, Chica, is 13 years old, so she's having a rough time getting around. But my 3 cats are still pretty feisty. Up at the top, that's Bart. He has blind in one eye, so I like to say he's my pirate cat. Black Bart. And then I have Penny, who's named after a Beatles song, Penny Lane. And then Jack, who's actually named after U.S. President John F. Kennedy, whose nickname was Jack Kennedy. All right, so I actually like to share with students that I myself am a product of a community college. Didn't really know what I wanted to do when I first started out, and so I ended up at Flo Valley. And there I really found my passion for teaching history. So after I transferred, I had an opportunity to go back to a history professor that I had there, and he allowed me to tutor students in history. And that's where I fell in love with teaching at a college level. So I decided to continue at UMSL to get my master's in history. Then when I graduated in 2008, the winter of that, I started teaching the following summer. And in 2010, I came and started teaching at SCC. And I've been full-time here since 2011. So I'll tell you why I love history, because I know not a lot of people do. To me, history is not just about memorizing names and dates. It's about change, and the amount of change that ordinary people can have on history is pretty astounding. So I really like that. I think it's really important to make history relevant, not just talk about it in a box, but to explain how it relates to our current events. So that's something that we'll be doing throughout this class. There's a lot of things happening in our world right now that are directly affected by decisions that were made 150, 400 years ago. So we'll be talking about that, and that I think makes history pretty exciting. And one of the other things I find really exciting is that because ordinary people can have such a big difference in history, that means we ourselves can be a part of that change. Someday, 100 years from now, maybe even 50 years from now, people are going to be studying us and figuring out why we worked the way that we do, and how ordinary people were affected by the events that are happening. I will share a disclaimer though. If you guys heard of the website Rate My Professor, I got kind of a bad score on that. And I shared 2 of my favorite bad scores because I think they bring up a really good point that I want to make about my class. If you read through these reviews, these ones say that I hate America because all I talk about is the negative things that the United States has done. I think that you'll find our course, because it is a college history course and our curriculum is not dictated by a school board, that we talk about a lot of negative history. But this is not a criticism of the United States in the way that says I hate America. It's just a statement of facts. And one of the things that we're going to be doing in this class is looking at perspectives of United States history that's probably different from what we've been taught. right? So that includes Native American history, women's history, African Americans history. And when you study U.S. history from those perspectives, it's not always great, right? So again, I don't hate America. In fact, I really like the United States. And that's why I chose to devote my career to studying it. So I hope that we can mutually respect each other this semester and realize that just because some of the things that I talk about is critical of the U.S., it doesn't mean that I'm trying to make you hate the U.S. So hopefully this class will be a really good experience in history. We're going to work on connecting to current events and make it more meaningful, right? And I hope that that is a good experience for you all. So let's have a great semester, and I'll get to know you in the future.